They go off when we go on and on and on. Marathon, pace yourself so you can face yourself. Run hard. You only really race yourself. Oh, shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey? No, the marathon was started by Dilated Peoples. That song is West Coast hip hop from Dilated Peoples. You know what I'm saying? The marathon. I'm messing up my headphones over here. You know what I'm saying? Because Neighborhood Watch. Get that album, listen to that album today. Watch for criminals and watch for cops. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the marathon because it does continue. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dilated. Shout out to the whole West Coast. How you living? I got to thank you for listening to FarsideTV.com. You are locked in. And as always, I am your host. Who am I? That's right. I am your host. Adisa the Bishop, a.k.a. the Black Dragon of the West Side, a.k.a. Zato Ichi, a.k.a. the South Bay Shogun. I am still here. You know what I'm saying? A.k.a. the Iron Hook Assassin. I think he's going to lose that arm. It is the Black Cortez Killer. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody triller than me, homeboys and girls. So you can be down now, or you could bow down later, because the West Coast OGs, we stay greater, ever greater. That was that sub bass right there. Welcome to the Bishop Chronicles. We are the first podcast dedicated to giving you West Coast perspectives on hip hop and health and fitness trends. You know what I'm saying? And understand, ain't nobody out there sprinkling your cranium with this here vibranium like me, Adisa Band Joko. You know what I'm saying? So man, if this is your first time tuning in, thank you. Where are you from? Oh, if you from Chicago, hey, word. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Florida. You messed up the vote, but nobody's tripping. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. I just want you to know that I appreciate you checking in with Bishop Chronicles, and you know, it's important that you reflect on this idea deeply, that this may not, it may not be the best thing. About to show enough is the worst thing. About to show enough is the worst thing. About to show enough is the worst thing. That was kind of like my gospel freeze in the spotlight. Gospel freeze. Remember that? Everybody, if you went to church back, that happened. Who made that move famous? Please do me a favor, subscribe on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, Spotify, iTunes, leave a comment, a fresh comment like, yo, I'm rocking with this fool right now. You know what I'm saying? And thank you to everybody who's giving me comments. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? The iTunes comments are lit. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, share 2 shows with 2 people that you think will actually listen. I mean, we got that show on Has Hip Hop Failed Black Women? Did you really listen to that one? I mean, people still talking about the DJ Vlad show. People still talking about the Ice Cube show. People still talking about my election extravaganza. I had an election extravaganza. You didn't watch it? You watched it. Stop playing, blood. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the listeners, the retweeters, you know what I'm saying? The digital pound givers. You know what I'm saying? People up in my inbox like, yo, man, why don't you talk about this? You know, I think I will. You know what I'm saying? And we go back and forth. Blow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Crazy week, crazy times. It looks like the president's just at the beginning of acknowledging he's out. That's cool. And you know what I'm saying? Life is pretty good, man. I've been working out. Have you been working out? How's your tea game? My tea game is up. Woo! I've been drinking tea a lot, and it's winter. It's a good time to be drinking tea. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm already rocking with, the Cloud Scroll tea that I make. And Musashi Mind State tea. You know what I'm saying? You can go to hiphopchess.blogspot.com and you can find the tea recipes there. They're free for anybody to put together, mix and match. They're really healthy for you. They're good for your immune system and things like that. So make sure you check it out. I've also posted it on @Bishop Chronicles on the IG. Follow me there. Talk to me there. I'm always there. And now it's time for Heartbeat Props, where we give props to the people that have made our life better, right? We live in a crazy time. You see the spike is real. You see the spike is happening and people are passing away. Heartbeat Props was a song by Digital Underground meant to remind people to give props to the people who are living instead of just praising the dead, right? So this is how you honor your cousin, your child, your parent, right? I want you to call 3 people for 5 minutes, call them. Don't text them and say, hey, you know what? I love and appreciate you for X. I love and appreciate you for Y, right? And Z. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give my heartbeat props right now to a few people. First is my homie on IG at Cage Against, Brett Sweet, the Sweet MBA. You know, he runs Cage Against the Machine podcast, talking about martial arts and intercultural communication. Is very powerful stuff. And just the last few weeks, man, like you've been really instrumental in helping me kind of like figure some things out. Like he always reminds me of the importance of the techniques and the philosophy in Chinese martial arts. You know, people, because I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, and you know, hella jiu-jitsu guys are always like arrogant, you know, oh, traditional martial arts. No, bro. Traditional martial arts are still dope. Enshin karate will still knock you out. Kyokushin will still knock you out. Lots of different kung fu and tai chi things actually work. Now, there are tai chi people who have gotten mobbed, you know what I'm saying? And there's something to be said for the practicality of some martial arts. But Cage Against, bro, you keep me in tune with the best aspects of warrior culture and philosophy, and I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying? Helping me stay inspired in my workouts and stuff like that. Next up, at Billy Johnson Jr., one of my OG West Coast writing partners from way back, man. Billy Johnson Jr. is a good dude, solid dude, and I appreciate him immensely just for the friendship, for all the years. You know, I called him confused about something, and he responded hella quick. You know, one of the things that happens sometimes when you're going through it is you find out who's really on your team and who's not. And you be like, hey, man, I'm just trying to find some information. Just find some information. And people who are supposed to have your back, people who you looked out for in hella different ways, will not have your back. And you learn about the nature of your friendship in those moments. You know, Billy Johnson, you have never left me dangling, blood, in the middle of something real. And so I appreciate you for your insight and your friendship. Genuinely, you know, you're a solid dude. So all y'all need to follow him. And next up, I am shouting out someone who is gonna stay low pro because he likes to stay low pro, but his name is Mo. And Mo is somebody I've been cool with for hella years, and we hadn't spoken in some time. And I was explaining to him, he was asking me about an old friend of mine, and this friend of mine, me and that person have fallen out really hard. And so I was like, you know, I thought we was cool, but we was not cool. And this is what happened. And I still don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know why. And he said something that just blew my mind. He said, you know what, man? I've realized that you don't really know who somebody is until you go to war with them. I'm going to say that one more time. He said, you don't really know who somebody is until you go to war with them. And man, if that ain't the truth, it put so much in the perspective for me. So what's up, Mo? I'm giving you a shout, player. You know what I'm saying? West Coast OGs from way back. You know what I'm saying? And now, remember, you chilling with the bishop, baby. It's the Black Ron Burgundy in the flesh. Crisp and clean and refreshing as a heartland head of lettuce. That's what I am. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the vegans. And now we're going to go into the West Coast word of the week. The West Coast word of the week is janky. The West Coast word of the week is where we teach you about how we talk out here. So when you visit, you don't get beat up or jacked. Yes. So the West Coast word of the week this week is janky. The word is janky. Now, I'm not really sure that that's strictly a West Coast word. I just know that we say it. And janky is something that is, as a definition, substandard. Usually a piece of equipment. Like back in the day, if you was in a B-boy jam, right? And somebody comes with the boombox, right? But the tape deck don't really work. They'd be like, yo, did you go to the battle? They'd be like, yeah, blood. Alex came through with this fresh ass boombox. You know what I'm saying? It hella sick. It had all the little things. Like boomboxes used to have stuff. Look at the Duck Rock album by Malcolm McLaren and the world famous Supreme Team. You see this sick boombox with hella stuff on it, like mirrors and antennas and graffiti plates, and it was sick. Horns, had bull horns on it. I wanted that. Who didn't want that? So, you know, But then Alex brought this. It looked like the Duck Rock album. Looked like the Duck Rock album? Yeah, but then what? Man, the tape deck was broken, blood. It didn't even really play that good. Oh, man, what was Alex thinking? I don't know. Boombox was janky, right? Or, you know what I'm saying? You might be going down the street and you see your boy and he got a new car. And then you tell your friend, oh, man, you know, I seen Tabitha last night. You saw Tabitha last night? Yeah, she got a new car. Oh, she rolling out? Yeah, but it was kind of janky. So yeah, there is your West Coast word of the week. And now we're going to get into the haiku section. Haikus. Don't you love poetry? Just bring it in. The air hug. What is the two pats? Who made that up? I don't know what that's about. It doesn't matter. I care. Haikus are Japanese poems that do not have to rhyme. They are of three sentences. The first is 5 syllables. The second is 7 syllables. And the third is 5, 7, 5. Now, I've been doing haikus for a little bit more than a year now. I don't consider myself a pro. I consider it a hobby. What I find is that the limiting space of the framework of the structure of a haiku makes you work harder to be heard. Now, I've shouted this dude out before. His name is Chad Fred Lott. And, you know, he gets down with jujitsu. He gets down with martial arts. He gets down with poetry and hip hop. And he laced me with a book called For All My Walking. For All My Walking. And it's a book of freestyle haikus, which means that they don't really follow the 5-7-5. But I just want to say that this is an amazing book of poetry by a Buddhist monk who was a drunk and was in a lot of pain emotionally because he was depressed. He had a very tough life. And this is a mix of journal entries and poetry. And so I just want to thank you, Chad, for sending me this book, man, because it's amazing and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. So I'm going to do my haiku. My haiku is about a group of crows. Did you know that a group of crows are called a murder? A group of crows, like, you know how you have like a pack of wolves? You have a murder of crows. Now, I didn't believe this. But my homegirl, Northside Q, she raw. I see you. And she said, did you know that, you know, a group of crows are called a murder? And I was like, what? So as you know, I'm into meditation. I'm into prayer. I'm into yoga. I was doing my yoga and meditation in the backyard. And I have these 2 trees. And there is a group of ravens and a group of crows. And they fight over these trees. And so I'm going to, like, they were ruining my meditation. And all it was black on black crime in the sky while I'm trying to meditate. So, Mike, I need you to see if you can get some strings. I want some medieval type strings. I want something that sounds like Game of Thrones style for this. And I want high wind. You know? Then I went and I looked up what is a group of ravens called. They're called an unkindness. But they're also called a conspiracy. A conspiracy of crows. We may have to look at the ideas in the European mind that deal with color and assumptions. Like, why are all the black crows a murder? Why are all the black ravens an unkindness? Either way, they were fighting between these 2 trees. And this is my haiku on that. All right. Got the wind. Yes, I hear them. I feel close to ravens and crows, by the way, on a personal level. Like when I be jogging, I'd be like, y'all be looking out? Y'all be looking out? I don't know. I feel connected. It's a weird thing, but it's true. Here we go. A murder of crows. An unkindness of ravens. clashing in the sky. What? One more time. A murder of crows. An unkindness of ravens. Clashing in the sky. Haikus, what? You better do one. Send one to me. I love haikus. So yeah. So now we're going to talk about the chess and life strategy of the week, touch and move. If you play chess, one of the main things about it is if you touch a chess piece, you have to move it. So if you touch the pawn, you're thinking, oh, maybe I should move the pawn. Oh, no, I'm going to move the knight. Nah, bro, you touch the pawn. You got to move the pawn now. The only time you can't do that is if the move is obviously illegal, right? Like you touch the king, but he's surrounded by all of his pieces. He can't go anywhere. But the idea is that you have to think before you act. This is the life strategy. You have to think before you act, right? That's why chess is such a big deal. When you look at things, that looks like checkmate. Is it what it looks like? You have to go after it and take that action. But you have to think right. You have to think right. I was playing chess just the other night, man, and I had this dude beat, and I blew the entire position. Because I was like, okay, so if I move the rook and take the bishop, and then I misdid it, and it wasn't right. I should have thought a lot longer before I moved. Even though I had a winning position, I saw it wrong. I want you to think before you move. Let that be how you go forward. Not this week, but every week. This week and every week. Think before you move, because these are crazy times between the corona, between all the political upheaval and the social upheaval and whatnot. You have to think before you move. I'm not telling you to be scared. I'm not telling you to be fearful. I'm telling you to think. All right. Don't forget that you can get Bobby Bruce in the Bronx for free at hiphopchess.blogspot.com, or you can cop one on Amazon. And now we're going to just quickly talk about what I love, what I fell in love with. The Queen's Gambit. Oh my God. Shout out to everybody who told me to watch it. I knew I needed to watch it. I was writing. I was hemmed up with life things, and I needed to be still. Man, what a show. If you haven't watched Queen's Gambit, you got to do it. You got to do it. Why is Queen's Gambit cool? One, is everybody forgetting how big chess is right now? Is everybody forgetting that chess is one of the biggest online games? Look it up. In the pandemic, chess is taking over, and Wu-Tang is forever. And now it's Queen's Gambit, right? So the Queen's Gambit is something that you should watch. But I only think you should really, I don't know what the actual rating is on Netflix, but I'm thinking you need to be 15 at least to see that, probably. You know, there's some things in there that deal with addiction and lightweight sexual stuff, but it's very lightweight. But still. Why is Queen's Gambit cool? First of all, it's cool because it's about a girl being devastating in chess. That alone is important. Okay. The Queen's Gambit is about a young girl who is an orphan who learns how to play chess at a young age, and she is incredibly amazing at it. I love this show because you see so much of the diversity of her personal issues that give like real meaning to what's going on in her chess world, right? And so this has always been my problem with the modern chess community, right? Is the modern chess community talks a lot about what it should talk about: ratings, tournaments, etc. But the real life of the people, the real psychology, the things that make them cool and fun to be around, you never know that because they sterilize them in this vat of chess authenticity. They dip them in the goo, pull them out. Yeah, he's a real life chess person. She's the real article. Check her out. And it's like, yeah, but she's no longer human, man. You sterilized her. Well, what's her favorite cartoon? What does she like to listen to? You know what I'm saying? Can she cook? You know what I'm saying? Does he wrestle? Does he like to dance? We don't know, because the mainstream chess community is mainly just talking about someone's rating or some sterilized version of why this person should be seen. And this character has massive depth. She has a relationship with an older guy named Mr. Scheibel. When I say relationship, I mean friendship. I don't mean anything stupid. What I'm saying is that her relationship with Scheibel is what introduces her to chess. And man, that just made me reflect on all of the people who helped make my chess game possible and better. You know, the gratitude that we often don't have for those who put us on the path that leads us to greatness. For me, that would be Mr. King, outside of chess, just in my life. Mr. King, obviously my parents as well, but Mr. King was crucial in that. You know, Mr. Kong, when I was in the 7th grade, was crucial in that. And in some ways, to the OGs, you know, I was talking online with some incarcerated students in St. Louis this week. And, you know, they was like, yo, when you coming out? Shout out to Mike Wassam, you know what I'm saying, running an HHCF school over there in St. Louis, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And, you know, the kids were like real excited about the engagement that we were having. And the kid was one of the kids in particular was very grateful, you know, and it's time that we remember, back to the heartbeat props, that we take time as OGs to teach the young people right. If you're someone who's in hip hop and you consider yourself an OG and you don't like what's going on in hip hop, look in the mirror and blame yourself. Who are you teaching? Right? Who are you teaching? Who are you helping to understand hip hop better? Not just saying, oh, in my day, we listen to Cool G rap. Shout out to Cool G rap. Huh? Listen to All Fair by Rugged Intellect with Cool G rap, and you'll probably get the best Cool G rap verse he's ever done. I believe that's the best verse he's ever done, and he's got many. But my point is, we need to be thinking about helping people younger than us with no expectation of props. Mr. Scheibel didn't help her so he could come up. He didn't help her so he could get paid. He never reached out to her and was like, oh, you balling now? You don't know me? That never happened. We have to teach the young people with no expectations. We have to love others, especially young people, with no expectation. Give them advice, give them books. Watch the money thing, but give them money sometimes with no expectation. That's what he did. One of the things, I'm just going to stay on this whole issue of gender for a moment. Like, it's so important, this film, you know, this show, that she is a woman. And I often, and I've mentioned this before, but this really brought it to me, is like, how many things that plague us in the world exist because of sexism? Like, we look at the coronavirus right now, and I wonder, would the coronavirus have been cured 10, 20, 30 years ago? Maybe more, if more women were encouraged to be in medicine and deal with pandemics and things like that. What if more women were in science? Would we be farther than Elon Musk is taking us right now? What if there were more women in leadership positions in technology? Who knows what technology would be doing to help us in things beyond like social media and things like that, right? What if it's just a young girl in Saudi Arabia that would have changed like how we eat and cultivate food forever, but because she was, oh, you got to go get married, right? And her husband might have been a nice guy, but he wasn't going to be the one to do that, right? This is about getting out of the way of the youth, getting out of the way of women, getting out of the way of Black people or whoever else is marginalized in the world, and helping, giving them something from a place of love and hope, and just stepping back and letting them shine in that, you know. I work with a lot of kids who are locked up. I've worked with a lot of kids who, you know, just came from a tough place. I've worked with some kids that came from pretty privileged places, but still struggled in different ways. And I've never treated any of them different. I've always just given them anything I could and let them go free into the earth. And I just hope the best for them. And if they ball and become great, awesome. If they just have a happy life, awesome. If it helps them one time they really need it, awesome. You know, but like, we need to just teach young people from a place of love and step out of the way. Another thing is that my homegirl, Northside Q, was telling me that apparently the person who wrote this thing, this initial book that created the series, like, he got shut down for years trying to get this movie made. And he, it's a lesson in perseverance for me, because I got some movies I'm trying to make. Shout out to whoever you know at Netflix. Have them holler at a scholar. I've got dopeness on deck. Not kidding about that, but seriously, it was inspiring. Not to mention the fashion was fantastic. I love the designer. I like the way everybody dressed. You about to see Deece dressing up again. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's quarantine, boy. I don't care if it's quarantine, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start dressing fresh again. You know what I'm saying? I got the bow ties, I got the regular ties, I got the all black everything. You know what I'm saying? I got the fresh shirts with no collar blood. Do they call them Nehru shirts? I don't even know. But what I'm saying is, you need to watch Queen's Gambit. You need to watch it. On the healthy tip before I go, black seed oil. The spike is real. Get some black seed oil in your system. If you want to know why it's important, look it up. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave you with black seed oil. I could rain on y'all with some stuff. Black seed oil. And then finally, as always, you know what I'm gonna tell you. Defend your smile. Defend your smile, man. The smile, these are the fingerprints of the soul. Nobody smiles like you. Even identical twins sitting right next to each other smiling, they smile different. Your smile is the fingerprint of your soul. It's the fingerprint of your heart. I want you to share it. I want you to protect it, right? And you got to be able to look any hater in the eye and tell them, if my joy brings you pain, then you're going to need some Novocaine. Defend your smile. Have a beautiful week. You know what I'm saying? Stand on love and logic, right? Act from a place of love, but think. Enjoy your week. Go be great. Holla at a scholar. Follow, subscribe, share. Bishop Chronicles. Peace. West Side.